It's Thursday, September 25th, and this is your offshore report. And we start off with the crew from Canyon Runner.
Good afternoon, folks at the Fisherman Magazine. This is Keith Lambros from the Canyon Runner Coaching Member, delivering you our offshore report from this past week. A lot of boats out there fishing. We're starting to get to that point where the weather's just difficult, but we're going to go in and break it down for you. Again, it will always start at the top here with the weather. We're starting to see a couple nice highs. We've got a low out here to the east off the mid-Atlantic, and we've got a low off the southeast, which should give us a nice little setup here for the last few days of tranquil weather. Folks can go fishing, and I think we're going to get a little bit rougher as we get later into the week, and then it should be a fairly decent Saturday, Sunday here. As you can see, these lows are all centered off the Atlantic, and you just got this bulbous high pressure system here. That's just going to give us some tranquil weather, but let's pull back and let's get into the fun stuff here. As you can see, we've got boats fishing from North Carolina, out from Virginia Beach. We've got the Marlin fleet out of Ocean City, mahis and whites. Folks down here in the Norfolk, they are hearing of an occasional yellowfin caught here and there. But overall, very slow tuna fishing down in this location. It's all white marlin, it's all mahi, and that's really what everyone's been targeting. There really haven't been many tunas caught here recently. Midshore is a little bit different story. We're starting to see some mahis in this midshore location, which is great. Keeps those folks busy. It's really about the only meat being caught right now, meat fish being caught. And we're also seeing an occasional effort of a boat's daytime sorting, and they're not really catching much, unfortunately. But we'll keep everyone posted any developments here. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen in the next 6 weeks here, folks. Moving out up here, Spencer, Linical, Toms, real lack of coverage. But I did hear of a few rumors of tunas, yellowfins, and longfins being caught in the Toms. So those fish are slowly trickulating down. We've got triple Rex. We've got Bacardi. Again, we're starting to see fish being chunked in here. Overnight in the Hudson, yellowfin, longfin, and big eye. Sounds like pretty promising condition overall. So we continue to monitor this, and that's where folks are going to end up fishing here, I believe, in through September into October, and watch this development. And the big development here is just Joyce of Cambria. This is in the squid draggers. This fishing is not as consistent as it's been in past years, but it's been good. We've had some folks with 30 fish. We've had some folks with zeros. A lot of effort. But as this squid run starts to move its way south and west, it'll make its way up into the Hudson here, and that's where you'll see this back edge of water out here. The eddy should all apex, and it should be a pretty good end of the fall here as we just turn the calendar from summer to fall here. Again, working out east, dip, tails, fairly slow. There is the eddy that's been here from the Atlantis, now West Atlantis, now Brick Rock, this back edge. That's been holding longfin, yellowfin, and big eye. Earlier this past week, we saw a spectacular big eye bite, probably 70 fish caught. We've also seen great yellowfin chunking, double-digit yellowfin chunking, and longfin being trolled. Real nice size longfin too, some 50 to 70 pound fish, really quality of fish, and some smaller ones. And again, not much on the bluefin front. Again, we're closed recreationally bluefin. We're closed on the giant bluefin right now. So this is our first season closure here. We made it to September 18th, which was impressive. Good landings, a lot of good action here south of the draggers, and then finally off Chatham really started to shine here. Regal Sword, Jeffries, Stellwagen, those areas finally started to produce, and with quality of fish, big fish, 100 plus inch, 110 plus inch. So really nice quality fish overall. But again, fishing really seems to be shaping up here, and that's going to recap our offshore report. If you have any questions, reach out directly to find out more about the service. Thanks so much.
Now let's check in with Jim Hutchinson from New Jersey.
Every week at thefisherman.com for the New Jersey, Delaware Bay region in season, of course, Tom Pagliaroli provides an offshore report that gives you a snapshot of the previous week's action. So for those of you who are looking at traveling to the edge in the weekend ahead, always have something to go by. You can go to thefisherman.com, fishing reports, the tab at the top, select NJ and Delaware Bay, and at the bottom is offshore, obviously. Now that report, this week's report from Tom P. is also in the October edition of the Fisherman Magazine, which has gone to print. Subscribers will get it this week. and it's in newsstands as well. In it, Tom P. says a few weather windows did open up that provided chunking, jigging, and trolling opportunities for tuna, with some decent shots at mid-range mahi as well. Now, as we head into these later days of September and into October, chunking for yellowfin is always an outstanding option, but finding the right weather windows is the tricky part of the equation. Now, the folks at Fanatics in Ocean City noted this week, quote, nothing on the tuna this past week because of the weather, but the boats that did get out hit some mahi. Trolling the deeper waters and also pitching bucktails and baits around the pots has produced chickens to close to double-digit fish. Fanatics also reported that cobia action continues to impress anywhere from Great Egg Harbor Inlet on out to 15, 20 miles or so. Now, in the northern part of the Garden State, the Bacardi and the Triple Rex area is still where we're getting the best yellowfin reports. The 120-gram Glow UVT jig and chunks have been catching yellowfin between 40 and 80 pounds at the Bacardi, Triple Rex, and some other midshore spots. That comes from Matt at the Real Seat, who said he also heard the yellowfin bite, the night bite, that overnight chunking bite, is starting at the canyons as well. With that news, and of course what you heard from the folks at Canyon Runner and their intel service, that's going to come in handy if you're thinking Hudson, Toms, or Lindy in the coming days for the overnight chunk bite. Staying in point, Jason from Fisherman Supply relayed that the Bacardi and the area southeast of the Texas Tower, those areas are producing yellowfin in the 75-pound class, heavy on sardines and butterfish, but a few are being jigged up. And again, Jason said the same thing. Pink Glow 120-gram UVT metal. They're also chasing the 19-inch purple chatter lure side trackers on the troll. And of course, if you've got your wide trackers from Sterling, those will work as well. You also have the eastern and western sides of the Hudson continuing to yield golden tile fish to 30 pounds. Tom said salmon bellies are the best bait at this point. Quote, what I'm hearing and from all the flats of butterfish we're selling, that yellowfin bite at the Bacardi is turning on again. That's according to Emmett from Fisherman's headquarters in Ship Bottom. He said still mahi around the pots, hitting hoagie, epoxy jigs, small bucktails, and small pitch baits. He also had to say for the entire Fish Heads crew, again, they're looking forward to late September and into October, that overnight chunk bite, very popular at the Jersey Shores. We go down into Cape May County. Heidi at South Jersey Marina reported that the crew of Wayne's World had nailed a blue marlin just north of the Baltimore Canyon, estimated at 450 pounds. Again, the tip of the Wilmington is producing solid catches of mahi with the occasional wahoo, and white marlin still in the mix. If you're looking inshore mid-range, look towards the federal water reef sites for mahi. Quote, pretty decent mahi action off the pots at Axel Carlson. That's according to Frank at Gabriel Tackle, adding that spearing, small bucktails, and live killies are putting some mixed-sized Dorado in the box. Hopefully the mahi action continues well into October as well on those mid-range grounds. Out of Brigantine, Captain Andy at Riptide Bait and Tackle said much the same thing, except he said insane bite with bull Dorado up to 25 pounds, just 20 miles off. Now, Andy didn't give me the specifics, but I'm thinking that perhaps trolling around the Deepwater Reef on out to the Cigar area might put some mahi in the box, perhaps a cobia or two as well. Now, unless you're planning on using your HMS permit to get some of that Eastern Atlantic bluefin quota, it does not appear midweek that Hurricane Gabriella will cause too many issues for us. But keep in mind, you got to keep an eye out on the other tropical systems that may form to our southeast. But as of midweek this week, it looks like those windows should be open on the offshore grounds heading into this weekend. So I will tell you, catch them up.
From Long Island, we have Andrew from East End Angler.
Thanks, Tim. So for this week's offshore report, guys, the eddy moving east to west is now a little bit west of West Atlantis here. And on the cold side, still that 65-degree water. On the warm side, 71. Still very, very strong. And guys, we're getting big eyes, yellowfin. Not as many albacores. Those are a few and far between as of right now, at least working on that eddy. But also some larger mahi have come in, which is pretty normal for this time of year. Mahi is the fastest growing fish in the ocean, guys. These things can get really big towards the fall, especially if you see any floating debris or around those floating lobster pots out there. They can be schooling in dozens. Usually there are a couple of good bulls in there mixed in. But anyway, so guys, as I was saying, it's all about sort of this east to west move. So we're hoping that this eddy continues on its path and then goes towards the dip and the Hudson. And that'll be more in range for all of the Western Long Island boats and some Jersey, and more so in the tri-state area. So anyway, we're looking forward to continuing to get out there, guys. Catch them up, and back to you.
Let's check in with Mike Hatchie from New England. Mike, what do you got for us this week?
Thanks, Tim. Hey guys, this is Mike with the Fisherman coming in with this week's offshore fishing report. A little bit quiet for the New England guy this past week. Whether you had the northeast blow or you had the September closure for giant bluefin, it's kept guys a little bit off the water and more dominated towards the inshore bite. I did speak with Phil over at Goose Hummock Shop this past weekend at the Norwalk Boat Show. He was getting a live report from some of his captains out there. They were getting that 60 to 70 inch class fish at Regal Sword area, and that seems to be where that more concentration of smaller bluefin class has been. Still some giants mixed in, so definitely be ready for those fish. But as far as like the guy who wants that smaller jig and pop fish, that seems predominantly where they are. It's been more of a jig bite, and honestly the only reason why it's a jig bite is because guys casting out poppers and any sort of soft plastic, lighter or certainly on the surface, are getting mauled by shearwaters. Pretty well-known species of bird, a little bit frustrating for sure. No one wants to tangle with those. But that seems to be the focus for at least the midshore grounds in New England. Really that east of Chatham bite. Pushing offshore, I did speak with Tony over at Booked Off Charters. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, he was able to get off the canyons and really nice yellowfin bite. He went 18 fish in under 2 hours with his clients. Pretty much hand feeding those fish, yellowfin. And I mean, we're certainly going to be throwing a little bit of a clip and some footage from what he was able to capture out offshore. But in large part, he was able to truly crush a day with his clients. And certainly, if you're going to be going out this coming weekend, definitely be prepared with butterfish flats. Whether you're going to Snug Harbor, Watch Hill Outfitters, J&B, down in that Rhode Island, Connecticut area, definitely call ahead, make sure they have it. Or if you're going to go to the Cape or come out of the Cape, go to Sportsport, Mako's. That would be the shops that I would be hitting for those butterfish flats if you're leaving from more of that Massachusetts area. But that's really all I've got this week. I'll hand it off back to you, Tim. Thanks.
I hope you're finding these reports informative, so please like the video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we'll be here next week with an offshore report.